All right, so I'm back with another edition of Mike Finds Things, where I go out and find cool records. In fact, I'm going to be expanding the channel to other things I find at these estate sales, since I'm not always finding rare records. I haven't done a video in a while. I used to be more better, is that a thing, about that. But I did manage to find some great records in between the time of filming my other channel, which is my name, Mike Frankovich, and that's my car show channel, which is much bigger than this one. Unfortunately, that usually it takes my time on the weekends, which is when a lot of estate sales are, where I go find a lot of these records. But I did find some good stuff, so we're going to go into it. We're going to start right now. And with one sale, I went to 3 different sales where I found these records, and I actually found another stack of records from another estate sale I never did a video on, so I'll probably put that in the next video. The first sale I went to was out in Glendora, and I'm going to start with this one because I did find 45, 78s, as well as LPs at this one. And then the rest from the other 2 sales are all going to be 45 RPM 7-inch records. So we're going to start with sort of a common one. I don't really run across this one. I run across the band. This is the Beach Boys on Capitol with the original Capitol sleeve. The Man with All the Toys. And then Blue Christmas is the B side. This one has a hole punched in it, so it was returned at one time. I'm guessing it wasn't sold. It probably didn't sell well as a holiday record. It's in like excellent condition. So I like to buy these for jukebox use. So around the holidays, I like to fill up the, I think I've mentioned before, I've got a collection of jukeboxes, and sometimes I like to put some Christmas ones in there around the holidays, as well as I've got some ones that are appropriate for Halloween. Stuff like Ghostbusters and Monster Mash and stuff like that. So this one's from 1964, has a low of 5, a mid of 650, and a high of 10. So the values according to Discogs. Again, not a high value record, just one that I thought would be cool to have for the jukebox. We're going to go into something that's a little more, I've never run across this one, at least as long as I can remember. This is from 1963, it's a girl group. Nothing spectacular here. Low of 50 cents, mid of 4, and a high of 16. But this one has the original picture sleeve, and it's the Majorettes with the white Levi's. And from what I understand, from what I could find, this was actually used as like a promotion for Levi's when they brought out white Levi's. And they sing about wearing a Pendleton shirt and having a surfer hat. So it's sort of surf related, but it's not a surf song. But I'm guessing this might have been like a local SoCal thing, since due to the surf tie-in. Again, this record looks like if it's been played, it's barely been played. It's on Troy Records. I looked it up. They actually put out a few songs back then. I think there's 1 or 2 other ones by the Majorettes as well. This one is cataloged like 1,000, but there's actually like one random record they did with like a random number in like the 200s. So I'm guessing to make it look like they'd actually put out other releases. Like I said, it's kind of cheesy, but it's a cool, campy, like teen hit from, not even a hit, but it's this record hit of the year. I've never heard of it, so I'm guessing it wasn't like a major hit, but it's sort of cool with that, and definitely like a SoCal surf tie-in, even if it's not a surf record, which is why I grabbed that one. Here's one, again, not a high value one. This is the Crying Shames from 1967. Of course, they're kind of like a garage group, but sort of like on the more poppy end of garage. This wasn't their biggest hit, which was, I believe, Sugar and Spice. It could be We're in Love, but with the original picture sleeve. They say low 50 cents, mid 250, high of 12. So it's probably like a $5 record, realistically. There you go. Again, this one looks like it's like if it's been played, it's barely been played. Very, very good condition on that one. I did find some 70. I went through in fact, the listing. A lot of these estate sales, you'll see they have records. They just show the LPs, and some of them will even go as far as to only show the LPs that are stuff they've heard of, like the Beatles and Stones and stuff like that. I was very, very happy to see they had 78s. So a lot of estate sale companies, like with the 78s, they know that they're usually left over with them at the end of the estate sale. If you talk to anybody who runs an estate sale company, they hate 78s. So I went through them. There was the usual like Bing Crosby and stuff like that. But then, you know, I always say check those. You got to check those Red Label Columbias, even though most of them aren't anything like spectacularly interesting. So in between all those Bing Crosbys, I did find a Memphis Mini with "I'm So Glad" Blues Columbia Red Label in a Columbia sleeve. Not sure if it's the original one for that year or not. On the other side, Mean Mistreater Blues. And now usually you'll go through a bunch of Bing Crosbys, and those are the ones they put away, and you find that one gem, and it's the one that's cracked in half. Not this one. This one's actually super cherry. I did clean it up a little bit. It had some background noise, and I think a few more cleanings, it's going to get rid of all the background noise. Plus, because I cleaned it after I cleaned it one time, and it sounded much, much better. So, kind of a cool one for the 78 collection, especially since it's blues, which you don't find as much as you find all the big band stuff. That one, okay, I always give a disclaimer when I look up prices on Discogs of 78s, the pricing on 78s on Discogs is usually out of whack. So a lot of 78 guys don't like to use Discogs. On there, it has a low sold value of 25, mid 45, and a high of 65, according to Discogs. Those are your sold comps. Who knows? Like I said, a lot of 78 guys won't even touch Discogs. So the values on any of those are usually kind of off. Here's one that's not worth a lot of money, but this came from the same sale, 1947. It's an R&B record. I always like to pick up these black and white label records. They did a lot of like R&B and whatnot. This one is an R&B record, and it is The Keys in the Mailbox with Richard Gets Hitched on the B side. This is nice because they actually put in the little catalog number A and B, so you know which one's the A and the B side. Again, it's in really nice condition. It's got a few bumps in it, on the shellac, but it played just fine. So that was kind of a nice find. Not a high value. I think it's like $5 or $10 record, but it's cool to find that stuff. Now here's something that's a little bit different. I like the surf music. This is from 1963. Not worth a lot. It says low of $1.50, mid $5.82, high of $21.74. I have some other comments on it that I wrote on Post-it notes. This one is Surf Stompin' Don Daly on Crown. Now, Crown was like a budget label back then in Southern California. So it's got, first of all the sleeves on the Crowns from back then are always separating. In fact, this one's been taped back together. But they actually did hot rod records where it's got like old cool hot rods on it. Stuff from Big Daddy Roth, Barris cars, stuff like that. Let's see if I can get the record out. The records on these, because their teenagers had them, were usually pretty destroyed. This one's pretty nice. It's got the original, and it's a mono, high fidelity. I guess they made a surf pressing of this as well. Now, what's interesting about this one, it was actually released as Don and Eddie on Modern Records, the exact same songs. It's really Jerry Cole performing it, not Don Daly. And it was also released as Billy Boyd Twangy Guitars on Crown as well. So it was released at least 2 other times. And I guess they used some of the songs on some of these other records. Changed the names. So this one, they changed the names to like surf-sounding songs. Although it was the same music as, a few years before. So it's kind of like a cheesy thing they did. But that's what a lot of these companies did. They changed the names to like Hang 10, More In It Mahana, Surf Stompin', Malibu, Alamohana, Waimea Wipeout. I mean, they were the same songs, but a different name on the other records. So kind of cheesy, but kind of a neat piece of like, I guess, surf history, though it's not really per se surf music. But still interesting to see how some of these budget labels took music they already owned and reissued it, changed the name of it to make it sound like a surf record, and sold it. And they probably sold them like at like drugstores and things like that. The kids didn't know. They were like, "Oh, cool! It's a surf record," even though it's older music, just repackaged and renamed for a newer audience. Next one, I always say I collect radio station records, especially local radio station records. This is one I did not have. I have the later one that was put out by a similar name. It's 1965. This one's low of 54 cents, mid of 3, high of $6.85. So not an expensive record. This is the version with a misspelling on the back. It's KHJ Boss Golden's Big Hits of 1965. So it's featuring the best of 1965. It's got a cool cover. It's got like some like go-go girls dancing to a band. It's almost like you can almost like, this is probably a good one to frame actually. So KHJ Boss Radio 93 and here in LA was a big player in rock and roll radio back then. It's got songs like Gloria by them, Liar Liar by the Castaways, Eve of Destruction, Barry McGuire, Baby Don't Go, Sonny and Cher, Baby I'm Yours by Barbara Lewis, Lies by the Knickerbockers, Jolly Green Giant by the Kingsmen, Tell Her No by the Zombies, Shaken All Over by the Guess Who, Birds and the Bees, Joel Atkins, In the Midnight Hour, Wilson Pickett, and the Garage Classic, She's About a Mover by the Sir Douglas Quintet. So those are all songs that pretty much have 45s. The 45s are super easy to find, but all on one compilation. Now this one, the jacket's in really nice shape. This one was actually pressed. It says packaged and sold by Original Sound, which was of course Art LeBeau's record label there on Sunset Boulevard. Of course, he's more associated with KRLA than KHJ. And it's got the KHJ Boss Shocks on there. Robert W. Morgan. It's a famous one. Real Don Steele. Those guys worked in LA radio. Sam Riddle, Johnny Mitchell, guys that worked in LA radio for many, 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 many years. So this one was pretty cool. And let me see if I get the record out. I'll show you the label because the label actually says 93. Let me pull the whole thing out. So the record's actually got a label 93 KHJ. If you ever watched the movie Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, the Tarantino movie, they've got like air checks from 93 KHJ on that one. And this was actually in really good shape. A lot of times I find these radio station records and they're destroyed because teenagers owned them and they didn't put them back in the jacket. I did not play this one yet. I don't know if it's got that weird groove like the K-Tel records. I don't think it does. It doesn't look like it does. The compressed groove where they just put so many songs on one side. That doesn't appear to be the case on this one, where the sound quality is diminished because of that. But kind of a cool find. I've actually got, there's another Boss Golden. It's called Boss Golden's 30 from 2 years later from 1967. I've got a copy of that. Those pop up. I've seen a few of those pop up at sales. This is like the first time I've run across this one. So definitely a cool find. Even though it's not a valuable record, it's cool in my book. So I'm happy. Plus it's in really nice condition, just knowing that most of the radio station compilations I pick up are not that nice. Speaking of K-Tels with the compressed groove, you don't buy them to play them. Let's face it, you buy them for the album art, and that's the case with this one. In 1972, this one has a low of $1 on Discogs, mid of 3, and a high of 9. And you'll see why I bought it. 25 Rock Revival Greats. So, and it's got the Wurlitzer 1015 jukebox. I collect album covers with jukeboxes on it, so I had to grab this one. This one's actually in really nice condition. It's got like pretty much the kind of music you would expect to find on a old, Wurlitzer jukebox like that one. Rock Around the Clock, Johnny Be Good, Wake Up Little Susie, Book of Love, Shaboom, Long Tall Sally, by Little Richard, Blueberry Hill by Fats Domino, Bo Diddley doing Bo Diddley, Surfing USA by the Beach Boys, Safaris with Wipeout, Great Balls of Fire, by Jerry Lee Lewis, Shirelles, Soldier Boy, Pretty Woman by Roy Orbison, stuff like that. I'm not going through the whole track listing, just calling out some of the, but really nice condition. Something I want to frame all my jukebox covers. I've got a few of them on my wall, but that's definitely a cool one, just because I collect album covers with jukeboxes. Next LP is the last LP of the video. This is, in fact, after this, it's all 45s after that. And there's some cool stuff coming up. We got some like Northern Soul and some Psych and Garage and all sorts of rare stuff. 1969, this one only has a 50 cents, 672, and then a high of 50. So I'm guessing the $50 one was probably still sealed. The greatest hits of Eric Burdon and the Animals. So this one, they don't have all of Eric Burdon and the Animals' greatest hits on this one, which may, account for the value. Sometimes greatest hits compilations aren't as popular as having like the original albums that had all the B-sides and whatnot. This one, the track listings: River, Deep Mountain High, we all know that song. San Francisco Nights, You're the Guru, Anything Monterey. B-side is White Horses, Winds of Change, To Love Somebody, and then Sky Pilot. So I'll give you a look there. This one's in really nice shape, and my dad actually used to always tell me when he was living in London in the swinging 60s, he used to go see Eric Burdon and the Animals at like local clubs. He used to see them and the Yardbirds, and he was a big fan of Eric Burdon and the Animals. And this one is in really nice condition, which is why I grabbed it. It was cheap, so a lot of state sales you got to watch out for. Some of them, you start to know which ones charge what for records. Most of them most of them realize that majority of records aren't really anything. They'll price like the Beatles and Stones and Zeppelin pretty high, but then everything else they kind of just put off into the whatever bin. I mean, I can't remember what I paid for these. It was actually last Thursday, and I still can't remember. But we're going to go into the next estate sale. So that estate sale was in Glendora, and then I decided there was another estate sale, which was like 15 minutes from there, and, in West Covina. So I went to that one to see what they had. Again, I believe they only had pictures of the LPs. I didn't even know I can't remember if I knew they had no, I think they knew they had 45s. This one was weird. They had like 45s. No, they had no 78s, 45s, and I think they had a few LPs, but the LPs, somebody had already gone through there, and because I got there a little later than it started and grabbed, I think, all the good LPs. I don't think they went through the 45s, or at least they were probably just looking for the big names. And there was like different places in the house where there were more 45s. I think there was like 3 different spots. So, in fact, I was walking around, I was like, oh, there's more 45s. This one had a lot of promos and a lot of interesting stuff. In fact, the next stack has a couple promos too from a different sale from the week before. We do find a lot of promos since there's a lot of record company and music industry people in this area. Here's one from 1969. It's a funk record. It looks bad. It plays good. It looks terrible. It's got like a gouge right there, unfortunately. This one has sold between $18 and $21. Moira Records, a promo copy of Scrambled Eggs by the Fabulous Counts. And it's a funk record. I wouldn't sell this one online because of the gouge. Someone would complain, but it plays fine. You can hear a little bit of noise from that, which is kind of amazing because the way it looks like it wouldn't play at all. B-side is Dirty Red. So sort of a rare funk record promo from 69. I like finding stuff like that. Obviously I like to find it in mint condition. We did find other stuff at the sale, so let's keep going. 1969. This one's missing the original picture sleeve. I think these were issued only as a promo, and the promos had picture sleeves. Usually promos don't have picture sleeves on 45, so this one did. 1969. What was this one? This was a Psych record, I believe. No, which one was this? I don't remember. This one goes for 10, 14, and 18. For some reason I didn't write down what it was. There you go. Billy Meschel, It Ain't Be Easy Being Shirley Newman's Boyfriend. That's a parentheses song. And I Say Hello When I'm Leaving is the B-side. And of course, a lot of these, they put what the plug side is, or the A side. They'll put a star, things like that. So obviously a record that didn't go anywhere. And then a lot of the times the records didn't go anywhere. And then years later, someone found it and went, hey, this is a great song. Here's one I think I found nothing on. I think it was only worth like a couple bucks. But this is why I grabbed it, because it was Northern Soul, and I'd already found some Northern Soul. And this one has a minor label from Michigan. I couldn't find anything on it, so I took a chance on it. I looked it up quickly on my phone. This one's Romance Ends at Dawn, Lance Hill. And it's a completely nothing record, apparently. So, Let Go My Heart is the other side. Not much about it online, and I forgot to put it back on to see what it was again, because I know I played it before. No sales, results, nothing. But I thought since it had a Michigan address and I'd already found Northern Soul, I thought, okay, I'll take a chance on it. Sometimes you got to take a chance on it when you can't find anything about it. Okay, so I stopped the camera because there was some gardening going up the street. There was a lawnmower that went off. As anyone has watched these videos knows, my microphone picks up everything in this neighborhood. And if there's a lawnmower, it's not good. But it did give me some time to go and look up this one. The bubblegum, the promo, Billy Meschel, It Ain't Easy Being Shirley Newman's Boyfriend. It's actually like just a bubblegum, like poppy hit. So that's the one we saw a second ago. And then the one from 1969, I think we were going over right before, which this is going to confuse people. The Lance Hill record, Let Go of My Heart, and Romance Ends at Dawn. That one's like a crooner, but like not a very good one. So I threw that one on the turntable just to check it out. There's probably a reason why you've never heard of this record. It's and I could verify that. But I did buy it because it had that Michigan address, and I found Northern Soul, and I'm thinking, oh, it's a weird label. Michigan could be Northern Soul. So sometimes you take a chance. Sometimes you come out ahead. Sometimes you lose. But fortunately, I didn't spend. I maybe paid $1 for that record. I think I don't know. So next one we have 1969. This one is a folk rock bubblegum song on a promo. This one is low of 8, mid of 22, high of 33. So it actually brings pretty good money. It's on Abbey Records. Here's the plug side of Smile on that one. This one is a group called Eve, which it sounded like a guy singing, so it's not a girl group. Smile by a group called Eve, I said. And on the other side we have Within a World of You. That's the B side. Probably one of those that went nowhere, and then later on somebody figured out, oh, maybe it's something I like, and then now it brings a few bucks. But definitely like kind of a bubblegummy like 60s song. Now we're getting into some good stuff. This one's a banger. This is Northern Soul from 1969. Let's have a look here. Northern Soul from 1969. This is a promo. Low of 28, mid of 33, and a high of 37 on Discogs. Brandy Alexander on Tangerine Records, Do Right Man, and that's the A side. It's got the star on it. And then B side is Life Has No Meaning. It's the B side on that one. I threw that one on. It is definitely a Northern Soul banger. I can understand why people want it, and just a cool one to find. That's going to go in my Northern Soul box for sure. Here's another one. It's another promo. Like I said, I think somebody worked for a radio station here that had these from 1969 on Decca. And check out how Decca did their A side on their promos. The A in the Decca has a circle around it, and see on the B side it does not. So that's how you knew that was the A side of the record. This one has a low of 6, mid of 35, and a high of 95. Those are like a probably minty copy sold for 95. I would say this is not minty, but it probably plays okay. Is this the only life you had by get this name of this band, the Ronnie James Reincarnation? It's like the most 60s sounding band I've ever heard of. So there's that one, and then the B side is Jingle Jangle. So that one is a psych. I played that one earlier, and it was yep, it's a psych record. So that'll go in my garage collection, garage psych box. We got more Northern Soul. I know we got some Northern Soul fans that used to watch the channel. Obviously, I don't do videos like I used to. This one has sold between 150 and 250 bucks, so you know it's good. From 1969, Margie Joseph on Volt. One More Chance. So I knew this was something when I found it because I saw the Volt label. I was like, okay, well, we know it's Soul. The plug side is One More Chance. Oh, they're both plug side. I'm sorry. This is like one of those where they sent you a record, and so the DJ wouldn't accidentally play the B side. They put the same song on both sides. Sometimes they'll put one is mono and one is stereo. That does not appear to be the case with this one. You'll see one side says mono, one side says stereo, depending on if they were like an AM station or not. So there you go. That one's definitely a banger. And this was actually reissued, I guess legally. So it tells you how big it was. So I guess this was reissued on the non-promo version label. So I think the promo's probably worth more because they didn't do a reissue with the promo label. So this is like an original copy from 1969. So that's kind of a cool find. That'll go in the Northern Soul collection. From 1969, we got another garage pop record that's sort of psychedelic. That's what I got in my notes here from when I played it. Low of $5.75, mid of $6.33, and a high of $7. The New World with Mary Lou. Okay, A World of Love. That's the name of the song, and this is the plug side. And Small Town Girl is the B side on that one. So that was kind of a neat. I like to find weird promos because sometimes you find some interesting stuff. Sometimes you listen to it and you go, that's why that was never a hit. Sometimes you're like, why wasn't this a hit? So you never know. From 1969, this has a low of 10, mid of 33, and a high of like $75. This one has a whole bunch of people looking for it. Like, it has the Once on Discog. This one has killer drums, and the backing group on this record is actually the Meters. It's from 1969. It's a funk promo. There's a Break in the Road by Betty Harris on the SSS International label, and it's actually another one of those where both sides are the same, so the DJ wouldn't mess up and play the B side by accident, thus creating another hit, which would be another problem for the company to have, I guess. This one, my notes on this one are that it's terrible. The next one, not the last one, this one that's coming up. You Can't Love a Child Like a Woman. Comes up with these titles. Barry Gordon. There you go. And the other side is Take Off the Veil. I didn't play the B side though. I only played the A side. It was... In fact, this thing shows up as like not being worth anything, and there's probably a reason for it. But it's a promo, so it's one of those where you find and you're like, you play it and you go, yeah, that's why that didn't go anywhere. It's not very good. Here's a novelty record, again, another promo from 1969. It's sort of country-esque. Low of 4, mid of $8.70, and a high of $13.59. So if somebody out there does want this record, it is Glendora on Wand with The Box. And that's the B side here. Is The Incredible Shrinking Man, like the movie. So, but on Wand, but The Box is the A side. Says Novelty Country Record. It's actually really good condition too. This one actually wound up with 3 copies of the same record, of the same promo from the same sale. So I'll just show you one of them. This one is I Want to Love You Baby by Peggy Scott and JoJo Benson on SSS International. This is another one of them where it has, this one has the mono version on one side, so this is what I was talking about earlier, and then on the B side it has the stereo version. So of course the mono version would probably be more likely to be played like on an AM station, which was mono back then. I wound up with 3 copies of this. I think this one wasn't worth a whole lot of money. It's a soul record though, and it is a promo. So interesting. So same song on both sides. So I've got 6 sides of the same song on 3 records. How did I wind up with that? That's the math. That's the math we're doing today. From 1969, we got a promo garage record on ABC Records. This one is called Heartless. It's a parentheses song. Heartless, in parentheses, hurdy-gurdy. Gertie, not Gertie. It's not the Donovan song. Completely different song. There, you can read it on the screen. It is not the Donovan song Hurdy-Gurdy by The Great Train Robbery, which is the name of the band. My notes on this one is it sounds very similar to like a Mitch Ryder song. Wasted is the B-side on that. And see how this one they put the star so the DJ knew which side to play. So that one goes low of 4, mid 650, high of $29.73. What like a copy is sold for. Sort of a garagey song that's sort of Mitch Ryder-esque. And this was the second sale. We're gonna go into the second. We're gonna go to the third sale. This is the last record of the second sale. Not a promo, but it's one everybody knows what this is. I grabbed this for the jukebox, especially the ones where you can see the label. Back in My Arms Again by the Supremes. Of course, not a rare record, probably like a $5 record. And the B-side is Whisper You Love Me Boy, a Holland Dozier Holland B-side on that one. Again, this thing is so minty. Will go great in one of my... I've got 3 of my jukeboxes have the ones where it plops the record down. You can see the label while the record's spinning. So that's probably going to wind up in one of those. In fact, I might do a video start doing videos on some of my jukeboxes for the channel. Since some of those actually came from estate sales. Okay, so the next one was from the week prior estate sale. And so this one, like, it had promos that I was like, ooh, you'll see why I got excited, then they kind of got let down. So but we'll start with this one that's not a promo. I only found one other instance of this record existing online, and the guy was trying to get $10 for it. It is Jimmy Jacobs and the Tempos with One More Time on Dora Records. Now, I couldn't even find anything on Dora Records. There was a label in like the Netherlands called Dora Records, which this is not it, because this has an address on Vine Street in Hollywood, California. The other side is Geronimo. Kind of a neat label. This one's like a teeny bopper doo-wop song. I couldn't even find a year on this record, so I'm guessing it was probably around like 59 or 60, just listening to the song. Sounded like something that came out around that time. But I said, likely never to run across another copy of that, as like there's only one instance of it existing. It's not even on Discogs. It's what it is. But sometimes I've found a lot of records. In fact, had them on the channel, like ones that didn't pop up on Discogs. Sometimes they're good too. Like you never know. This one is a pop promo record. Low of 957, mid of 1229, and a high of 15. So somebody wants this one. It is not. It's a sin. It's not the Pet Shop Boys song. Bill Henderson. When you say it's a sin, it sounds like the Pet Shop. I think it was the Pet Shop Boys song, and I Need Time is the B-side, the non-plug side on an MGM promo. It's more. So I wrote down it's more like a pop song. So I'm guessing like a vocal. Those are my notes on it. This is a teeny bopper record from '62. I'd never seen this label before, so you'll see it in a minute here. Low of $1.50, mid of 8, and high of 1875. Dick Stewart with I Believe on Penthouse Records. And I saw this one was later reissued on Ava Records as well. I think is what I saw on the Discogs. And the other side is Without You. But kind of a cool label. And my daughter, when we're going through these, she's like, wow, it's a cool label. There's a rockabilly. So we do got rockabilly. Not a valuable one, but we got Fair and Young with Honey Stop on Capitol. This one's in really nice condition. I always like to find rockabilly, even if it's nothing crazy valuable. Vacation's Over on the other side. I'll go in my rockabilly Fun 50s box. There's no one's not really worth much. It's the Flamingos. It's not I Only Have Eyes for You, but it's Near You on a promo copy. This one's from '62. And the other side is For All We Know. That was on End Records. Like I said, not the Flamingos' most famous music, but I just grabbed it because it was a promo and it was the Flamingos. That would be a good reason. No, it's not worth a lot, but it's a fun song. Rock and roll, kind of like twist record on a Cameo. The Applejacks with Let's Continental. if I ever find a AMI Continental jukebox, that would have to go in there. And then the other side is the Mexican hat twist. So we got that. This is not really valuable, but why not? This one I grabbed probably because it's got an original label more than anything. It's a big hit from '63. $1,000,001, Jimmy Charles and the Revolettes. Nothing, even though it's on kind of a, it's kind of a minor label, it still was a massive hit. The other side is Hopscotch Hop. Or at least play that one a lot on the local oldie station back when. Another one that's pretty common, I grabbed it because of the condition, again for the jukebox. Little Red Riding Hood, Sam the Sham and the Pharaohs on MGM. What would be the B-side? Love Me Like Before. It's probably like a $5 record. It's nothing crazy. One that if you know oldies, you know that song. This is interesting. Here's one I found an Atlantic White Label promo, and I'm like, I'm gonna take a chance on it, right? Like, oh, it's an Atlantic promo. It might be some cool soul record. Nope, it's a pop promo. The Shepherd Sisters, Talk Is Cheap. This one has a low of 50 cents on Discogs, a high of $5.30. And take a look at my guy, The Greatest Lover is the other side on that record. Yeah, another one is where you're like, you have high hopes because it's Atlantic, it's white label promo, and nope. So, next one, we're going to move on to another Christmas record, because I need more Christmas records for the holidays this year, even though it's months away. We got Jackie Wilson doing Silent Night on a promo Brunswick. You see, they even wrote the arrows. The DJ wrote the arrows knowing to play Silent Night over Oh Holy Night on the B-side. So, that one has a low of 225 on Discogs, mid of 10, a high of 1250. But cool, Jackie Wilson Christmas 45. That's why I grabbed that one. This one's a soul record. It's sold between $17 and $30 from 1962. Cheryl Townsend. He Thinks I Still Care, and yes, it's the country song that you're thinking it is, but it starts with she, redone as sort of like a soul record. It's on Gone Records. B-side is A Glass of Tears. That's kind of neat. That one is also promo. I believe I said that. Got a couple more records left. Jan Bradley on Chess, These Tears. You can see they put the X there, so it probably was a DJ. I think it does say, it says DJ copy. So this one has a promo DJ copy. Low of 75 cents, mid of 7, and high of $12.50. I probably need to clean this one. Baby, What Can I Do is the B-side on that one. So grab that one because it was a Chess promo. You never know what you're going to get. You might get something, pretty amazing. Another one where I found an Atlantic promo, and I thought, and it's The Shadows. So I thought, well, hey, I'd never heard of this before. Apparently, it was a big hit in the UK. Guitar Tango, and saw The Shadows. I thought, well, maybe it's a cool garage band or something. Turns out it's from 1962. It was a massive hit in the UK. They were actually the backup band for Cliff Richard, and this was actually covered by The Venture, so it's like an instrumental rock hit. What a Lovely Tune is the B-side on that one, on that white label Atlantic promo. I didn't write down the value, which means it was probably like a $5 record. So that's what I've got for you. I know I've got some more that'll be coming up in another video of Mike Finds Things. Probably going to hit some estate sales this week, probably on Thursday and Friday, so we'll see if I find anything there. Hopefully I can actually get some momentum here on this channel so I can keep it going while still running the other channel, which is my name, Mike Frankovich, with all the car stuff. So thanks for watching. Be sure you're subscribed to the channel for when I do post these things. Hit the notifications. Leave a comment on any of these records. And until next time, I'll be seeing you.